Good morning, good afternoon, and good evening. Welcome to an episode that isn't like the other ones. See, on my other channel, Nufftingz Speaks, I speak about a lot of these things that go on in Pokemon GO, that go on in the world, whatever, right? But this video is more about me being a little bit mean about people that aren't giving the right information and people not understanding what's going on in Pokemon GO. So I put this one on my Pokézone channel. Now, I will put links at the end to show, not links, but the end screen to show everybody, my other channel. But anyways, listen. Okay, let's get on to the meat and potatoes of what I'm talking about. So it's September 29th for me, and how do you say his name? Duraludon was released in Australia, New Zealand, and all that, because they go a day before us, right? I'm down in Canada. I'm in the western place. I'm more north because I'm Canada, but I'm in the United States area type of thing, and we're getting it tomorrow. So September 30th is going to be tomorrow for me, right? Now, the problem I have with what's going on with Pokemon GO and just in general, okay, we need to remember something. Pokemon GO does not have people that just live and breathe Pokemon GO. We have a lot of people who have lives, something that some people don't seem to have. They focus everything on Pokemon GO. We have people with lives, responsibilities, children, ailing parents, going to school, very busy people. So when you give people like that don't have the time to research because they're so busy, you give them the wrong information, it doesn't help them. And what I mean is, I can never say his name, Duraludon. Okay, Duraludon. I think he's a boss, right? Now, if you know this Pokemon, he's like a skyscraper type of thing. Like he's a big ass building, right? Okay. He got an evolution in the new gen, right? And if you don't know, he came out in Sword and Shield, right? Or it came out in Sword and Shield, whatever. In Pokemon Scarlet and Violet, they had an evolution. Duraludon couldn't evolve before, but it had a Gigantamax form that was like a big, building, right? We're going to get that in Pokemon GO eventually. It's actually like very cool and interesting looking Pokemon, right? Now, the thing is, people have been, and I've been seeing this all day on Facebook, everywhere, and people are posting pictures and saying stuff like, oh, make sure you do Duraludon. I'll even put it up on the screen. Make sure you guys do Duraludon in his Dynamax form because it's going to have a Gigantamax. So I'm thinking, okay, that's the end of it. And you would figure that would be the end of the sentence, the notification of the end of it, right? But then they go on to say that Duraludon has an evolution and that can Dynamax also. Okay. You can't Dynamax it. Now, hold on before you bite my head off and go in the comment section and be like, no, listen. Sword and Shield did not have the evolution, right? Okay. I've had this conversation with people that meet me at meetups, right? Because, Pokemon GO, we go to meetups. All right. And I've actually had this conversation numerous times where it's been asked, do we think that Pokemon GO will have the Paldean Pokemon that are new be able to Dynamax? Now, there's a chance, there's a possibility that Pokemon GO might actually do that. I'm not saying I have my ears in Niantic. I'm just going by thinking, I'm thinking to myself, yo, that might be cool, right? Now, what I mean is okay, do you notice how certain Pokemon cannot go to Pokemon Home? Like, it used to be costumes, right? Armored Mewtwo couldn't go. Any certain costumes couldn't go. But there was Pikachu costumes that could go, right? But a lot of them that are costume or special ones can't go to Pokemon Home. But did you notice that there's a lot more now? Ever since we've gotten Dynamax and Gigantamax, there's way more now. Like, Eternatus can't go. Gigantamax Pokemon can't go. So I would assume that they might be able to, if Nintendo gives the okay, remember, Nintendo's got to say, yeah, you can do that. But they might, just to be different, allow that. I mean, I seriously doubt it, but it's a thought, right? So you could have a Dynamax Fuecoco, right? Like, I mean, that would be cool as hell, right? But I seriously doubt it. I give that like a 5% chance happening, but it's a thought, like I said, right? There's nothing wrong with, you know, talking about stuff like this and sort of, dreaming per se about things that could happen in the game, because a lot of us that play Pokemon Go, we really love the game. And a lot of these YouTubers that are speaking don't seem to know anything, right? And I'm not trying to dog them. I'm just saying, like, you could get mad at me and say, oh, enough, you're full of crap, whatever. Okay, fine, I'm full of crap. But, have you ever just sat down and thought about it? That there's certain things that we don't need to be told anymore. And then there's certain people that need to be reminded of certain things because they're so busy. You can't have people telling you something that isn't true. You notice how when I said that they could, have Fuecoco and Quaxley and all of them become Dynamax, that's just like a thought. I'm just thinking that would be cool because they've already restricted us from getting a lot of Pokemon. So if I get I have a Gigantamax Blastoise, Hundo, right? That dude is stuck in Pokemon Go. He can't go to home. I can't put him in Sword and Shield. So why could they not just say, you know what, Game Freak, let's just have the Dynamax Pokemon that are from from the Paldean region be able to Dynamax, and we'll just not let them go to home, and that's the end of it. They stay in Pokemon Go and they don't go to home. Right? Haven't you noticed that there's so many Pokemon that do not go to home? Like, really sit down and think about it for 5 minutes. Like, you would notice that a lot of them can't go. So what says that they can't have another set that can't go? You know what I'm saying? Like, they could do that with a lot of Pokemon. We might get Arceus and he might be able to Dynamax. I wonder, can you make Arceus Dynamax a Sword and Shield? I don't remember. But like, I don't think they're going to make new Gigantamax Pokemon. I don't think they're going to go down the way of Marvel Strike Force and creating their own, characters. I don't think they would go that far. They might, but then those wouldn't be able to move either, right? They were able to do Meltan, but, like, I feel like that was just, a special occasion type of thing. I don't think they're going to, like, do more. Unless they decide to make a Let's Go where it's just Pokemon Go Pokemon and it's all new creations from Niantic. Would Niantic, aka Scopely, put in that much time and effort and something like that? That would be cool. Like, listen, don't be like, oh, you're full of shit. Look, I think that would be cool. Seriously, that would be cool. They create their own game, their own Let's Go in the next gen or the gen after that. And it's strictly Pokemon Go Pokemon, right? That they create. So it would be like they would have 150 Pokemon in there, like a good Kanto restart. Not restart, but it would be like the starting for them. So it would be their Kanto. Do you get what I'm saying? I think that would be cool as hell. Like, that would be, but would they put the time, the effort, and the money into something like that? And would something like that hold back Pokemon Go from achieving greatness? Now, going back to what I was saying before. So, Gigantamax Duraludon, right? Very nice looking Pokemon, right? But it can evolve. Now, it can if you put it in Scarlet and Violet. It can evolve into, what's the evolution? I can never, these names are so great. Archadol, Archaludon, something like that, right? Now, the thing about Archaludon, right? If I'm saying the name wrong, I apologize. This isn't like a start from Scarlet and Violet. This is a DLC, and not even the first DLC. This was the second DLC, the ending DLC when you're in the dome in Scarlet and Violet. This is when this dude came out. So he's like the end game, right? I don't think that you could ever Dynamax this. Because then even thinking about that, would it be stronger than the Gigantamax Duraludon? No, it probably won't, right? But this Pokemon is pretty gangster. It's like a bridge. I think it's cool as hell. But when people tell other people and post this online and say, yeah, it's going to be able to Dynamax, we don't have any confirmation, any proof that that's going to happen. So people that just skim through the games, the game information, it's not, those are not the best people to ask, right? And I'm not saying that anybody asked, but like these are people that are seeing this and they really believe it. That's why people need to come out, and like these YouTubers need to come out and say, nah, man, you know, this is how it goes. And I think this is what's missing from games like Pokemon Go. Like, I play many other games, like, you know, Marvel Mystic Mayhem, the new Destiny game. I play games on my console. I play so many games. But Pokemon Go is so known. It has so many different elements to it. Like, there's so much Pokemon in Pokemon Go. Like, there's so much pocket monsters. There's so many creatures. So, not everyone's going to know everything, right? I know a lot, but I don't know everything. But I do feel that, you know, getting it from the right source is better, because you never know what someone's going to tell you. Like, you know what I mean? Like, I've seen people get told that you can get Spatial Rend on your Pokemon with an Elite TM. And people will start using the Elite TM and be sitting there like, yo, what the hell? And it's like, dude, no, you can't. You know, why would someone do that? That's hurtful. Now, with these Pokemon, I also got to say this. We got Dynamax. We didn't get Z moves, right? Because after Mega, it would have been Z moves, right? I assume they're going to pass through the Z moves thing. Like, that's not an assumption. That's just clearly what they're doing. They're not going to do Z moves, right? I don't know if anyone's ever asked Niantic and they've answered. I've never seen that. I would assume maybe they did, but I don't know. But I am excited to see what they do with Terra. I think Terra raid Pokemon would be cool. I honestly believe that could really change the game, right? And what I mean is, so you would have, and this would add years to the game. Now, what I mean is, let's say you have a Terra raid, right? And you have a Pikachu, right? Now, we know when they Terra, they switch into whatever the Terras that you choose, right? So, you know, you got to get the what are they with the herbs or whatever to do it. Okay. So let's say you have a Pikachu and you raid for it. Now, this Pikachu, you can change it to whatever type's in the raid, right? So maybe 1 week you get a ground Pikachu. The next week you get a water Pikachu. And it can change at the beginning of the battle. Or they might do it where it's just a different Pikachu altogether. You got yourself a Terra Pikachu, and this Pikachu is water type all the time. I mean, that would just be silly, to be honest with you. I think that would be a terrible idea. But they've had many terrible ideas, so doing something like that wouldn't surprise me. But it would change the game a lot, right? I don't know if they'd be able to put that in PvP. Like, that would honestly bring out the skill out of people that really are good at the game and understand how to play. I don't think they're ever going to bring abilities, but I do believe that they might make Pokemon that come out after, like Paldean Pokemon that are new, like new Pokemon they might let them Dynamax. I honestly believe that they could do that, but they just would be stuck in Pokemon Go. Maybe it'll be the same thing with Terra. Maybe the whole thing that's going on right now is that a lot of these Pokemon, they're trying to keep them in Pokemon Go so you don't send them to Pokemon Home. You never know. You know, like before we got when they said about Dynamax, right? Before they said that they couldn't send Gigantamax, you know what I was excited for? I was like, yo, we're gonna get a Gigantamax Melmetal. And I was like, bro, we only got one in Pokemon Home, right? Dude, that would be wicked if now I can get a whole bunch. And then I was like, yo, would that just make the Gigantamax not even worth it anymore? That one that you get and you wouldn't even want to bother getting it? And then look, oh, the Gigantamax Pokemon can't be sent to home. So I was like, oh, there you go. That saves you from moving it. So that still leaves Gigantamax Melmetal a rare Pokemon. Seriously, like it's a rare, it's a rare thing to get. So I'm like, dude, that's pretty smart. Like, you know, for a company that we think is so silly and so dumb, that's a good move, right? So, you know, now you can get in home, and it's like, yo, sorry, now you can get it and go, and it's like, yo, you can't send it to home. So the one that you get at home still is rare, right? You get that, you know, perfect IV'd one. That's a rare dude. Like you're not getting that. You know, you can't have a perfect hundo or a shundo and then send it to home. It would defeat the whole thing on home, right? It wouldn't be rare anymore. So that's actually pretty damn cool that they thought of that. I don't know why they did it to Eternatus, but yeah. Anyways, once again, just to clarify, Archaludon does not Dynamax. Not yet, anyways. He might, but I seriously doubt it. But, you know, maybe I don't doubt it. Maybe, who knows anymore? Like, whatever. But when you get yourself a Duraludon, you know, get your Dynamax one, get the candies, and then when a Gigantamax comes out, max out your credit card or whatever you do. Get yourself a nice one, and you'll already have the candies from the Dynamax, you know, and hopefully you get the Hondo Dynamax and the Gigantamax. And maybe your Duraludon would be able to evolve, but then it loses the Dynamax option. Or maybe it actually keeps it and I'm wrong and it actually Dynamaxes. So we'll find this out in the future. Anyways, like and subscribe, and I'll see you in the next video.